What is going on, everybody? So I am back with another video talking about the Philadelphia 76ers and more specifically just my instant reaction to the Sixers winning their first round series versus the Washington Wizards in 5 games. So we're going to be talking about a lot in this video. Definitely got a lot to go over. But before we get into it, if this is your first time seeing one of my videos, I do a lot of sports stuff over here, Sixers videos, Sixers talk videos, Sixers hype videos, and a bunch of Eagles stuff. So if you're interested in any sports content like that, please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 and we're super close, so I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So the Sixers ended up beating the Washington Wizards in Game 5 to advance in the series, winning it 4-1, and they will play the Hawks next round because I did just see the Hawks won that game against the Knicks tonight. I just finished watching the end of that game as well, so that'll be an interesting matchup. The first thing I want to talk about is Joel Embiid. In this series, he was completely dominant, but I think the main story definitely coming out of it is his injury, his small meniscus tear. So the main focus for me, we need Joel Embiid to be as close to 100% as he possibly can be for us to accomplish what we know this team can. So I would focus on resting him. If you got to rest him for a few games in the second round, I would definitely do that just because we need him to be as good as he can possibly be for us to accomplish what we want to do. I don't think Atlanta's that great of a team. No offense to the Hawks, but I just don't see them as a real threat. I think we could win a game or two without Embiid versus that team just in the first couple games of the series. So I would definitely just focus on resting Embiid, getting him as healthy as possible because we're going to need him. And in this series, you saw it. He was super dominant. I think he had a playoff career high in Game 3. He played really well. We're just going to need him down the stretch. So that is the first thing I wanted to talk about. The next thing I wanted to talk about, Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons played really well in this series. Overall, I think he was more aggressive than he was, especially coming down the stretch of the regular season. He was driving to the basket a little bit more, but the criticism that I do have with how he played in the first round is just the free throw shooting. I think he played great and totally played great defense. He scored the ball well, he rebounded, and he passed really well. It's just the free throw line. You just got to step up and make your free throws. And he worked on them, I think, between Game 4 and Game 5 because people they were playing hack-a-ben. They were fouling him on purpose, and teams are not just going to go away from that. Teams will do that in the future. In the playoffs, and that's something he's going to have to get used to. So he was working on him, and he shot it much better in this game tonight in Game 5. So hopefully he can keep improving on that. That's the one criticism I do have of how he played in this series. But other than that, I think he played great. I don't think you could have really asked for much more. He had a triple-double in this last game here. I think he played really well. So moving on from that, I just want to say one thing is that before I go any further into this, the Wizards never really had a chance, so this isn't that big of an accomplishment in my eyes, not at all. It's just a first-round series. We were the 1 seed, heavily favored, beating a not very good Washington Wizards team that just has 2 really good players and a bunch of other role players. And Westbrook's never really been able to get it done throughout his career, so we expected to win this series, and it was pretty obvious we were the better team from the very beginning. It went from a series where I felt no urgency at all to feeling a little bit nervous just because of the injury to Embiid. I'm still worried about that a little bit, but hopefully he can recover from that. And then not knowing if we were going to be able to pull out this Game 5, clearly we were able to pretty easily, actually. And we'll keep going further into that later. But just because of the way they performed in Game 4, I didn't exactly know how they were going to play in this Game 5. But they came out and they played really well all together as a team. Player I want to talk about in this game specifically, Seth Curry. I think he played really well in the series. In total, he was really good shooting the ball from 3 and actually just doing everything else on the court offensively, shooting the ball very well in general. But especially in this game, he had his career high in the playoffs, 30 points. He played amazing when we needed him to. Without Embiid, he needed to pick up some of that scoring slack, and he definitely did. So shout out to Seth Curry. He played really well. Another player I want to talk about, Tobias Harris. I think he played a great series as well. I think most of the Sixers players played really well in this series, but just getting back to Tobias Harris, he had 28 and 9 in this game. He had a career playoff high 37 in Game 1, which I actually got to go to. Add card right there, so you can go check that video out. But yeah, he played really well in this series. We're going to need him to continue scoring the ball if we're going to make a deep playoff run. Moving on to another thing I want to talk about, which would be Tyrese Maxey. I think he played really, really well in this series, and I went on RB's live stream, I think a little bit before the playoffs, and I was talking about how Shake Milton, I think, could still be a good piece for this team in the playoffs, even though he had struggled up to during the end of the regular season. But clearly I was wrong. I really like Tyrese Maxey's game. He's been playing really, really well, getting to the basket, hitting mid-range jump shots. His three-point shots improved. He just improved in total as a player from the beginning to the end of this entire season, just as I think 20-year-old rookie. So that's really impressive to see from him, and I think he needs to have a big role off the bench for the rest of the playoffs. I don't see Doc giving his minutes away. I definitely think he is a very important part of this team moving forward after seeing what he can do in round one. Another player, Matisse Thybulle, I don't really have much to say about him except for that he's playing still great defense, as we know he can. He's going to need to keep that up moving into future rounds. For example, previewing this future matchup, previewing this next round matchup versus the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, he's going to need to do a good job on him when he's matched up with him, and do a good job on every other guard and player he gets matched up on with the Atlanta Hawks, because they have some good offensive players. Dwight Howard, I think, he didn't play great for the first few games of the series, but I think he really, really played well in this Game 5, and we needed him to. We're going to need him to step up in Embiid's absence, so look for more of that. Played great in this Game 5, like I just said. And moving forward, I think Doc made some really good adjustments in this Game 5. He didn't have his best coaching game in Game 4, in my opinion, but Game 5 he came back. He made some good adjustments in the second half, and we really pulled away there in that third quarter and moving into the fourth quarter. So I think Doc made some good adjustments, and we're going to need that too moving forward into the playoffs. And George Hill is, again, a good veteran presence that I think we have, as well as Danny Green, two good veteran presence, and they've played solid throughout the series as well. So look for more of that and more of their leadership being a factor. Moving into the next series versus the Atlanta Hawks in the second round, I'm not really going to preview that too much because I will have a video coming out on that pretty soon. Not going to go too much into that, but I have Trae Young. They have some very good offensive players, and it's going to be a good matchup for the Sixers. I think they can win a couple games without Embiid, but we're going to need him back to probably win that series, or at least not make it like a stressful thing. We're going to need him back. Hopefully he can come back within that timeline. I'm sure he can. That's just my confidence level right now. But hey, if you guys disagree or agree with me, leave a comment just letting me know any of your opinions on Embiid's injury or how far the Sixers can go in the playoffs. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this video. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe to the channel for more sports talk videos. Any of my other content I got, vlogs, hype videos, whatever could be on the screen. You can go watch that, whatever you want to do. Please subscribe to the channel, trying to hit 1,000 if you are interested in this type of stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for the video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.